Hello everyone! My name is Jennifer Stay and welcome to Coloring Bliss. This is our weekly live event. I'm so glad you are here with us. We are having fun with alcohol markers because I have declared August Alcohol Marker Month here at Coloring Bliss. We have a giveaway here for you this week, so make sure you follow the link in the video description where you can go, and there are lots of different ways to enter our giveaway. You have a full week to enter, and if you are watching this video later and you've missed the giveaway, don't worry, we always have lots of different giveaways and things going on. So just make sure you have subscribed and you like this video so that you don't miss out on future giveaways. So I'm glad you're here. We do these live events every Wednesday here at Coloring Bliss. The first hour of this live event was over on Facebook. That's how we do all of our live events, 2 parts, the first hour on Facebook and the second hour here on YouTube. So I hope you can join us for our live events. We have a lot of fun, learn a lot, and being a part of the live event is a great thing to do because you get to ask your questions and have a fun time being part of the community. So Rose is here, and I don't think she's enjoying the sound of these markers. I know that Steve is not enjoying the sound of these squeaky markers. I have just 2.5 more of these really fun markers to swatch. We're playing around with the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. You get 3 markers in one. That's pretty cool, and I'm having a lot of fun. I can't wait because we're almost done swatching them, and then we can look at them. Do we like the 3 colors they picked for each marker? That's my next question. And then I want to compare them to my other Spectrum Noir markers. How do they compare with colors, the body length, all those good things. We've already talked about price, but I'll hit that again real quick for all of you YouTubers so that you can hear the price of these markers. And yeah, we're going to do some coloring with them as well and see how they actually perform when you put the marker nib to paper. How do they act? What do they do? So yeah, I'm about to swatch the last color inside the brown gray blend. So let me show you what these markers look like. They're by Spectrum Noir, and they've come out with this series of 24 markers, and we believe, the rumor is, they're going to have more colors. They have a case you can buy. I found it on crafterscompanion.com. There's a link. All the links that you need are in the video description, so just follow that. But there's a case that holds 48 markers that Spectrum Noir is making, so we're hoping they're going to come out with an additional 24 of these markers. So there's a case for $50. Woo, expensive, over on crafterscompanion.com. Now the cheapest way to buy these markers that I found is on dickblick.com. They're selling them for $3.99 each. Otherwise, everywhere else that I have found them, they're selling them right now as of August something 2019. They're selling these markers for around $5 each. So they are set up. This one is the brown gray blend. They're set up in 3 parts. You get a light, you get a mid, and you get a dark. So this one is brown gray. It says brown gray on each end cap. Oh, that's interesting. This end, it's printed in black, and this end is printed in white. And this is the dark end. I should switch those caps. It would make more sense having the black there. Okay, and then it says the light, the mid, and the dark right here, and they all have bullet nibs. You don't get any chisels or brush tips or anything fun like that. You guys know I'm a huge fan of brush nibs. That's like the thing I color with the most. So this, though, the advantage of this tool here in my hand right now is that you're getting 3 tones in one tool. You also know, if you've watched any of my coloring, whether it's color pencils, gel pens, markers, all of them, I'm always looking for a good light, medium, and dark blend of colors, because that way I can see really well and get a beautiful blend easily. And so here with Spectrum Noir, they've done the work for me, and we're going to look at the swatches here and see if we like the light, medium, and dark they gave me. But here they did it for me. I just need to grab one tool and I've got my light, medium, and dark in one tool. So we got light. I'll just keep the caps off so you can see. There's the medium, and there's the dark end right there. Now, as I was swatching earlier, one of the green ones accidentally came apart, and we were able to see the little felt insert where the ink is held, and it was only like an inch long. It was really small. So these don't hold a lot of ink. There's probably a little cartridge here, a little cartridge here, and a very little cartridge here. So I think so far my only two criticisms of this system is one, the bullet nib, and two, the small amount of ink they're going to hold. That's the only criticism I have so far. Yeah. So what do you get if you enter for the giveaway? I'm giving away, let me make sure I get this back here, light, medium, and caps. Okay, I'm giving away these three right here. What I did, so once upon a time I was walking through Hobby Lobby and saw this beautiful display of these markers, and I went, ooh, because they were so pretty, and I bought these three markers right here. This was, I don't know how long ago. Steve and I can't remember. Yeah. So we ended up, Steve was like, should we buy all of them? But I ended up just buying these three right here because it was a split complementary color scheme, and I thought, oh, this will make a really good video. The light, medium, and dark, it's the split complementary color scheme. And so I held on to it because I knew we were going to be doing alcohol markers eventually again on our channel. And before we've been doing watercolor and all these different kinds of mediums and media. We've been doing all these different art media, and meanwhile I get an email from Spectrum Noir, and they asked us if we knew about their new product and would I like some to try out and show on our channel. And we were like, yeah, that would be great, because now I can give these away to you guys. So that's how this happened. So I've got these three right here that I want to give away to you. So just follow the link, lots of ways to enter, and the winner will get these three, and you can enjoy them since I have the full set now and can practice and really put these through their paces. So let's finish swatching right here. The brown gray blend. I've got the light and the medium down, and I was just about to do the dark. Now, there's a warning.
Aline just donated.
Oh, thank you so much. So appreciate that. That really helps our channel. We've been talking a lot lately about how useful all of your donations are, whether you are a member over at Coloring Bliss, or if you financially support us here, or subscribing and liking and sharing our videos. All the support really helps us. Every time I do something like a giveaway or have Steve help with the website, those kinds of things, all of your support, that's what keeps Steve as a full employee of Coloring Bliss. He is a full-time employee here, and without him, Coloring Bliss wouldn't happen. So thank you for your support for making it so Steve can work for us. So let's swatch this dark color here. Warning, this is going to be squeaky. So if you don't like the sound of squeaky markers,
I just keep plugging my ears.
Here, let me show you what Steve does. He's literally,
I really am.
He literally has for every marker over here, and then he's like trying to type and plug his ears at the same time. Okay, here we go, Steve.
Okay.
You've been warned. Here we go. Okay, that was brown gray. So a really pretty warm gray color. Now ice gray, I'm guessing, is going to be a cool gray color. That's this one right here. Ice gray is IG. So I want to compare these two. Yeah, that's a nice cool gray color. I want to compare them to my other Spectrum Noir markers next. And I want to show you how long these are. These are some long markers. So I've got a couple other markers we can compare them to. This is the last one, and this is Fair Skin Blend, FS. Okay, here comes light. Last 3, Steve.
Okay.
And then you have officially survived the swatching, although we're going to be coloring and then it's going to get squeaky again. But at least you've survived the swatching. Okay. And last one is the dark. You did it! Woohoo! The swatching is done. Look at all those pretty colors. Okay, let me get the other page back.
Janet says, wow, thanks for reviewing these.
Oh, I'm so glad. They're a little pricey, and you got to know if they're going to work for you before you buy something that's this expensive. That's why I recommend maybe just go to your Hobby Lobby or you can buy these on Amazon too, and just buy 3. Like this was my plan originally, was to just buy 3 in a pretty color scheme that I knew I could sit down and do a coloring page with them. And you already have your light, medium, and dark, and away I go. And then I would have been able to do a really good review just with these 3. I'm really blessed that Spectrum Noir sent us the full set. I feel very spoiled. So that's lucky. But for the rest of you, and it would have been what my original plan was, is just buy 3 and give it a shot. So, okay. So let's look at each tritone. I want to look now and see. Now, Steve and I do this a lot, putting tritones together. This is kind of one of our jobs, is to put tritones together for you guys. So I'm going to look and see with our trained eye here. How do we feel about these tritones? Does it seem like a good light, medium, and dark set for each color? Okay, so we're just going to look together here. The yellows, we've got just 2 yellows. Although we do move into yellow oranges over here, kind of. Really, all we have is 2 yellows. But both of them are pretty good. We get a really good light, and then we go, this one I wish was a little darker, but that's all right. I'm going to be picky. I know I'm going to be very picky here, but like I said, that's why you guys come to me, is you want me to be picky. So if me being picky triggers you, then maybe fast forward at this point, because I'm going to be picky, okay? So I love this blend. That's a perfect light, medium, and dark right there. I wish this medium is really close. Wish you had a little bit more transition. This green feels a little off to me. Those 2 together, and then that green has a little bit of a weird undertone or something. Is it just me? This is beautiful. This is beautiful. These 2 are pretty similar.
Yeah. When I saw you doing those, I thought it was the same one.
Yeah, these 2 are very similar. This is a very pretty blend. These 2 are very similar. The light and the medium tone, very similar. Now, I totally know that they had a limited number of inks to pick from. We run into this whenever we're putting tritones together for you guys. Sometimes there's just not a good choice, and you're limited. Like here, look how good this is. This is a beautiful light, medium, and dark. Yeah, very good perfect transition between the 3 tones. They feel like they're in the same family, same undertones. This is a very beautiful light, medium, and dark. Here, purple blend. This, again, the dark tone feels a little off, but it's okay. These are okay. Pretty. Come over here. Not too bad. A little close. I wish this was just a hair darker. That one right there.
Yeah.
This is too close. This needs to be darker. And this for sure, look at that. These 2 might as well be the same color. This light, medium, and dark. The light is good. The light to the medium is good, but when you go medium to dark, we don't get enough difference, contrast. I want more contrast here.
There's several people who think that they are coming out with 24 more colors. And like you said, that would match the case.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Not colors, but pens, I guess.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
24 new markers, pens. What do you call them? We had this debate last week. Okay, light, medium, and dark. I wish maybe a hair lighter and a hair darker. Here, light, medium, and dark. That's decent. That's a pretty good. Here, oh.
Yeah, that one's a little off, isn't it?
Each one feels like a different undertone. Like a little on the red side. I don't know. This one's a little funky.
On the light one is kind of yellow.
Yeah, this is a little funky. Here.
Wondering if maybe the squeak is from the paper. Some are wondering, because some of them say this, it's not as squeaky to them.
Sometimes when the nibs are brand new, you get a different sound. So we'll see as I color with them, does the squeak come down? I was going pretty fast. That can make it more squeaky as well. There's a lot of things that can contribute to a good squeak. So we'll see what happens as I'm working with them.
By the way, Helene said that after your gouache video, she invested in the 60 set. She's so excited.
You're going to love it. You're not going to regret it at all. So, oh yeah, you're going to love it. That's awesome. Okay, this one is decent. Yeah, I wish it was nice. A tiny bit lighter. Again, I'm being picky. I know. Here, again, this is a little too close. I wish this was a little darker and this was a little bit lighter. This one, the dark, feels like a totally different brown, don't you think? I can see they were going for a gold yellow, brown.
Which makes sense if it's gold.
If they were going for a gold brown. Here, oh, this is a really good light, medium, and dark.
Well, and maybe when you do them all together, and do their blending.
Right. Swatching is different than actual coloring. That's two different things, right? Swatching, you have to swatch. A wet medium like this, you've got to swatch because as it dries, it changes color. So swatching is vital. But coloring and swatching are two different things. So we'll see how they act. And then this one, again, the light and the medium are just a little bit too close. They either needed to go lighter, which I know that's kind of weird because I bet on camera that looks super light. But with skin tones, you've got to have a mega, mega light color to do that really good blending to get that seamless, beautiful skin color that you're after, especially where we're calling this fair skin. If you want to get like that Cinderella, Snow White, Disney skin tone, you've got to have that really light marker color to be able to blend that color out. So one shade lighter is not asking too much. Yeah. So on the fair skin, I would have gone, if it were me picking colors for Spectrum Noir, I would have gone one shade lighter on fair skin because we called it fair skin. So the fairest of them all.
That's right.
So, okay, that was me being ultra picky. I totally acknowledge that I was being picky. Okay, let's move on to not being quite so picky now. I want to show you a comparison of body length here. So here is the new, I'm going to readjust that so it lines up. That was bugging me. Here is the new Tri-Blend. Let's compare it to another big boy, the Chameleon. So you can see in length the comparison here. So there's Chameleon. Let's compare it to a standard Copic sketch marker right here. I'm trying to line them all up. Who else have we got here? We've got a Prismacolor marker, which is a little bit bigger than your Copics. Who else do we want to compare them to, Steve, that I have handy?
Blick there.
Oh yeah, here's my Blick, which is usually about the same size as a sketch. Usually. Better be. Okay. Should we compare it to a Sharpie? Here's a Sharpie. Okay, so you can see our Tri-Blends are big, and I think that's why they came out with a special case for them, because I have a hard time finding a place for my Spectrum Noirs. Speaking of the standard Spectrum Noirs, let me show them to you. Oh, this is where I keep them right now, in a nice Eddie Bauer box. Okay, this is where I'm keeping my stash. I had to move them. Okay, so this is what a standard Spectrum Noir, at least mine, this is what mine look like. Are these old school? I don't know. I've had them for a while. Here is what the older Spectrum Noirs look like in length. right there, and they have similar numbers, so I'm curious. I'm gonna have Steve dig through my box and and see if he can find any numbers that match so we can compare. And then I also have their coloristas, which I don't think they make these anymore. I couldn't find even on their website or even on Crafter's Companion, which is one of the biggest online retailers that sell Spectrum Noir. They don't even carry these coloristas anymore. So I don't even think they're worth talking about, but I thought I would show them to you just the same. These are tiny little bullet nibs on these guys here, a little bit bigger right there. So we're not even going to talk about these guys, but yeah, that's what those are. Okay. So Steve, I'm going to let you look through these and see.
Laughing at Rose's hair.
Hi. Oh, what's wrong? You look sad. Is it because your hair is in your eyes? There. Is that better? Okay, there you go. Okay, so I'm thinking I have one of the purples. Oh, here's one right there. I have, let me give you, we've got, oh, see, that's PL. I just handed it to PL2, PL3, and PL4. And then I have some lavenders too. So look for those.
So here's a PL4.
Woohoo!
Do you have a LV3?
I have LV2, LV3, and LV1.
Okay. Here's an LV1 and an LV3.
Okay, I'm gonna get some paper out here.
And an LV2. And did you say PL2?
I have PL2, PL3, PL4.
Okay.
Nice. So we have a few we can compare straight across to their, they call this, on their website, their coloring system markers. That's what they call these boys right here. So I'm going to have Steve read a little bit about their coloring system markers. The quality color dyes, that kind of thing, Steve. Okay, so let's compare. I don't know where you belong. I'm going to put you there and we'll figure that out later. You belong over there. I'm going to move you over there. And you belong there. And now we have room. And we're not playing with Sharpies today. Oh, she's hot. That's the problem. It is warm in here. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Okay. She's going to want to get down soon. All right, so Steve found us 5 to compare to these two right here. So we've got, this is LV1, LV1. We've got LV2 and LV3. Okay, and then we've got PL2, PL3, and PL4.
Here, why don't you hand me Rosie and I'll have her go get it.
Do you need a drink, sweetheart? Come on, let's go get you a drink. Go cool off. Oh yeah, your belly's warm. Go get cooled off. Okay. Here's the one Steve found. Now, so you can see what the normal coloring system markers look like. They're double-ended markers. They have a little bullet nib on the end. Let's compare them to the current bullet nib. They look identical to the current bullet nib. And then they have a chisel tip on the other end. Nice big chisel tip, which we can compare to the chisel tip on a Copic. Let me show you the size difference. It looks a little bigger than the Copic Sketch. So that's the difference there. Okay, so this one that I have here is LV1. Should be the same as this one here. And it's nothing like that. Okay, well that's interesting. Now these markers have been in my stash for a very long time. Very, very long time. I think we're probably working on at least 3 years. But it shouldn't change color. Anyway, okay, let's see what else we got here. LV2. This is LV2. Okay, that's very different than that LV2. And then we've got LV3. Okay, that's a little closer, but still very different. LV3. And then I've got PL2. Okay. So according to my markers that I own, these are not the same inks. PL4. I would love to know, anybody who owns the Tri-Blend by Spectrum Noir, are you seeing the same thing, that they're different markers? PL4. Yeah, these are all totally different colors. When Steve gets back from helping Rose, I may have him check and see if I have any of the other colors and see if my purples are just off. Yeah, maybe you guys can comment below and let me know what's going on. Okay, I'm going to drink a little bit more water here. Okay, but one thing I must say though is, for a marker that has been in my stash for so long, look how juicy they have stayed. That's pretty good. This one was a little bit drier, but the others were very juicy and beautiful, so that's cool. Okay, and look how cool they stack. They just stack really neat. They just really cool. Very, very cool. Okay, so I think we have done the things I wanted to do. We've swatched. I compared them to some of the original markers, the Spectrum, the coloring system markers, and I think we are ready to move to the actual coloring. Woohoo! We can do some coloring. So I have this coloring page right here that I wanted to work on with you guys, and I want to test out this tri-blend idea that they are proposing to us, and I want to try their method first. So Steve, will you hand me the box? He just came back, so I'm going to catch Steve up because I'd like him to look for a few more colors for us. These are the comparisons. They're totally different.
Interesting.
So I wondered if it's just the purples that are off, or is it all of them? So I'm going to hand you the swatch book, because it's got all the little, what's the word? Initials. And you can look and see if we have a couple other in other color families to compare for me. Okay, so we're going to do some actual coloring now.
Renee says Spectrum Noir is in the process of redesigning their inks. The tri-blends are the new colors.
Oh, who said that?
Renee.
That's interesting. So, well, it makes sense, because did you see how off the end caps are to the actual color? Like LV1, that's like really off.
And Renee says the tri-blends are closer to the Spectrum Noir Illustrator markers.
Ooh, which I have information on those too. The Illustrator markers are the new ones with the brush tips. I'll show you what they look like since I don't own them. Illustrator artist markers look like this right here. They have a brush tip on one end. You can kind of see it there in that illustration, and a bullet nib on the other end, which is really cool because I love having the bullet nib and the brush tip. And they've been getting a lot of press lately because I think Draw with Jazza, he did an art box recently and included some of these in his art box, so that's why they've been getting a lot of press.
Huh.
And I'd love to get my hands on a small box of them because he proclaims that those brush nibs are better than Copic brush nibs. And I have a very difficult time believing that, and I want to believe it so bad because we all love our Copic brush nibs. So, but he claims, and it says that they have 25% more ink than our standard alcohol markers. So these are supposed to have more ink in them than these.
Interesting.
So that's kind of cool.
Jackie says that QVC or HSN indicated that they would be having new colors in the fall, and that's when they first came out with the tri-blends.
Yeah, I think Spectrum Noir, their biggest selling engine is HSN, and that's why you have such a hard time locating Spectrum Noir products. Their website is even strange and really difficult to maneuver around in their website.
Also, Crafter's Companion owns Spectrum Noir.
Yeah, and that's why when you go to Crafter's Companion website, that's like the best place to go see what's actually currently available, other than HSN, which is where you see a lot of their stuff gets, like their first big release is usually on HSN. So, but I used to watch the Home Shopping Network all the time when I was like bedridden with my illnesses, but I haven't been that bedridden in a while. So, but that's what I like, my background thing to keep me company when I was bedridden was HSN. So I was used to like to watch the jewelry. That was like my favorite thing was the jewelry. The jewelry and the sewing. That was really fun. Anyway, the other thing I really want to buy, tell me if you own these and if I should buy them, are these sparkle glitter pens.
Oh.
Okay, so this is the other thing that when they also have metallic ones too, but when I saw these sparkle ones, I was like, oh, because it's a brush tip, like a actual brush tip, like these guys here, the Jane Davenports. It's an actual brush tip, right? Does anybody own these? Let me show you. See? Pretty.
Renee says that she's slowly getting the Illustrator marker. She does like the few that she has.
Oh, good to hear. Yeah, like I said, there was a lot of hype when Draw with Jazza came out with them. And he made a big deal about them and had a big video about how to color with them. And I had issues with his thing. I digress because we're here for art and not for drama. But I was a little frustrated by his video where he was talking about why he picked the colors he did, and I was like, oh. Anyway, I felt okay. I'll tell you really quick. I'm not dissing. I'm not bashing. That's the word. I'm not bashing Draw with Jazza. I think what they did was really cool, but I think he made it look easier than what it really is to color with an alcohol marker. All of you who have really tried to color and make professional looking results with alcohol markers knows that it's tricky. And that's why when I read this at the beginning of the Facebook hour, these markers, there's a perfect gradation numbered from light to dark for smooth, controllable blend with beautiful shades you'll return to time and time again. Now, anyone can color and blend like an expert. It's easy. Now, I like that they're trying to make it easier, and I agree. This is a really great idea. We're going to prove it out right here, right now, that having the light, medium, and dark together is great. That's what I always tell you guys. Grab a light, medium, dark, whether it's a color pencil, gel pen, all of them. I always tell you grab a light, medium, and dark, right? So I love this. This is a great idea and everything. But does it make it easy? I don't know. We're going to find out, right? Okay.
Camilla says, I have the FSS of the sparkle pens. They're beautiful and really good to color with.
Oh, see, when I was on their website, I was like, what is that? Forget alcohol markers. Bring me the sparkle. Okay,
Roberta has the glitter pens.
Do you? Are they worth it? I'll bet they're expensive. I didn't even look at the price because I was like, oh, come on, Jennifer. You don't need anything else sparkly. Okay, so here's their little insert that tells you how they suggest we color with them. So for the first butterfly, we're going to color follow their instructions to the T. That's the plan. So we're going to pick randomly, as long as it's a pretty color, because if we get like gray, I'm going to put it back. So I'm going to randomly pick, because they said I can just grab any color and it's going to be perfect and professional and easy. Randomly pick. Don't you love that sound?
Janice says, did you see that they now have jars of the Sparkle Pens ink?
No. Okay, that might have to be September. Sparkle September. Yes. Oh, Sparkle September. All in favor of Sparkle September, say aye. Okay, I randomly selected and we got Hydrangea Blend. Okay, and let's start in kind of a bigger, we're going to do this one. This is kind of a medium size butterfly. We're not going to worry about the details. That's one of the best things about alcohol markers is it makes the perfect base layer because it doesn't affect the tooth of the paper, and then you can go right on top of it with anything, practically anything. Another alcohol marker, color pencil, gel pens, sparkly things, all that good stuff. So we're going to do the wings. We'll do the top two wings in the Hydrangea Blend, and we're going to follow their...
I'm getting lots of eyes.
Sparkle. We got to write that down. I'm going to write it down right now so we don't forget. How can I ever forget that? Not with yellow. Let's use like blue. Sparkle. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. Sparkle September.
Amy would like a coloring advent page for Sparkle September.
Oh, yeah. Sparkle September. And I'm going to put a star. Okay. Now I won't forget. All right. My blue marker back. Okay, I could have used that marker. Oh well. All right. So here we go. Apply the light color over the whole area. That's step one. Okay. So you're going to see it's going to be less squeaky immediately because I'm not coloring quite so crazy.
Oh, Polly just donated. Thank you, Polly.
Polly.
She says, thank you for making my grumpy mood change to a pleasant one. I know my husband will be pleased as well. You're welcome, Jan.
I'm glad we could help. You know, I've said this before. I know a lot of you come to Coloring Bliss and to coloring in general to help lift your mood. But that's why we do it too. That's why I do coloring, is to lift my own mood. It's really activating the ink, the toner.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
More so than my other alcohol markers.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm glad I can lift your mood, Polly, and thank you for your donation. Some days when we sit down to film these live events, I'm not feeling well, or I'm really tired, and I wonder, you know, is this a wise decision for this person right here to do this live event right now? And I usually push through and I do the live event, and 9 times out of 10 it cheers me up and lifts me too. So thank you to all of you for lifting and helping me. Okay.
Michelle says, I have the glitter pens. They're wonderful to work with. Kind of reminds me of Wink of Stella brush pens.
Ah. There's another brand that's been floating around on Instagram a lot that they kind of remind me of them, but I think they're a little different, is the... Now the name has left me. It'll come back to me. That I've wondered if you guys own. Okay, now we're supposed to go step 2, use dark to indicate areas of shadow. So we're going to flip the whole pen around to the dark side. To the dark side. Okay, so I'm going to make it look like we've got the dark like this. Kind of coming into the middle. Oh, I'm going to have to move some things here. Let's move this, please. Oh, I was going to have you look for some more. Oh, we had decided, someone told us that it's a new ink system, so we don't need to look for more markers. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way because we're going to try a different angle here for you so you can see. So this is the dark.
And thank you, Jack. Jack just donated as well.
Jack, thank you. You guys are so sweet and generous. Okay, next
Holly
step.
asked, do you typically have issues with the toner bleeding with blick markers?
No, I haven't. That's why I was surprised to see it bleeding so much here. Use the mid color now to slightly overcolor the dark color and blend in. Okay. So we're on the mid now to slightly overcolor. Is this slightly? Okay. Remember, I'm working on my awesome marker paper here, so I can be really generous with the amount of ink I'm laying down because the fibers of the paper can take it. Now it says, reapply the light color, this time slightly overcoloring the mid color for a smooth gradation. So back to light. And this is the line it's talking about that we need to work on. I'm going to try flicking this way. Even though we're not working with a brush nib, that flick motion that we all use with our brush nibs can still be really useful. Try flicking in, and we'll see how we did. Okay, so that was following their instructions now, and it's decent. We've got a bit of a harsh line between. I would keep going. I wouldn't stop there. I would keep working
How's it doing on the back as far as bleed through?
A little bit of ghosting. So what this tells me is I've got room. The fibers aren't totally saturated yet, so it can handle more ink if I wanted to keep working it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to leave one wing alone and say this is where their steps had me stop. And now I'm going to kind of amp it up, add a little bit more. What I'm seeing here is I wish there was more dark. We need more contrast. I've said it before. It's kind of the thing I'm working on this year is adding more contrast to my coloring because I think it makes it look more deep and delicious. So we're going back in.
Wondering, they're saying you need to be using your design board.
Oh, yeah.
Design board.
Okay, so we're going in again, back to my dark, because we're going to amp that color up. I sound like a teenager. Amp it up, man. And really bring that deep color in. And then I'm going to go back to mid and pull that out again. Flick, 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 flick. Keep on working it. Work it. And then, oh, was that the light? That better have been the light. No, that was the dark. That's all right, Jennifer. So I wondered about that. How often am I going to accidentally go to the wrong nib? Okay, and then flick it back this way. Clean up that edge. Okay, so I went back then, dark, mid to light again to add more ink to get that blend a little bit more seamless. And then that was my boo-boo up there where I added dark when I shouldn't have, but you barely can tell. So now you can see going through those extra steps, we've got more contrast right there and a better blend. And you can even go back again with your dark and touch in again. Add even more contrast in there one more time. So that's how I would do it. Now let's flip it over and see the difference of saturation. You're going to see, look, we could still keep going. It's still doing okay. So that's pretty impressive to me that their ink, it doesn't soak very well. By now, Copic ink would have soaked in easy. So that's interesting. Whatever they've got in here, the additives or whatever, it's not soaking as much. That's interesting. So yeah, very interesting. I'm trying to see, sometimes these inks will do weird things as they're drying. I've had some alcohol markers that, like, you get these speckly things going on. Like the white of the paper starts to, I don't know what it is. It's almost like a bleach type effect. And so I'm looking to see if there's any odd speckles. It looks good. Everything's looking really good other than my mistake. Everything's looking good. And the fact that it's activating the toner. But that even, you know, you don't notice it very much. And then I would come in with some sort of fun bling, like a sparkle pop. And you could come in on top. Because it's alcohol marker, we've got the perfect base layer going on here. And you can come in and add your bling at the end. A little purple bling here. And the great thing about adding details like this is any little mistakes you made, like I made, your eyes don't go there anymore. The eye of the viewer of the coloring page, they're going to go to the details. So details are your best friend, you guys.
Roberta pointed out that they don't seem to be as wet as Copics. So
Yeah.
that could also be why they're not bleeding
You're
through.
right. It could just be the nature of it. Let's add a little gold too. Let's go for this is also by Pentel. I can't remember. These are the dual metallics. Let's see what they look like on top here. A little metallic gold, bling. Come on, you can do better than that. There you go. Lovely.
Nice little complimentary scheme.
Oh, you're right. Okay, let's do the bottom wing now. I'm going to grab some kind of goldy color. Let's do the fair skin. I think that's... my swatches are not close by. Let's go yellow. Let's go yellow. Okay, we're going to follow... Should I follow? I'm going to do my rules. Now I'm trying to remember what Jennifer's rule of blending thirds is. What? Okay. Here we go. I believe Jennifer's rule of blending thirds starts with light. I'm looking at Steve like, make sure I'm not teaching them wrong, Steve. I'm going to try. That should be fine. I want to do purple right there. Purple sparkle pop.
Yeah. That'd be pretty.
I'm trying to think if yellow under is going to be okay, but I think the purple sparkle pops are opaque enough. See how it's really activating that?
Yeah, yellow's always one that activates it too.
Yeah.
Any marker.
Ooh, it's really activating it. That's really frustrating. Trying to keep it in the... Sorry, all you who are triggered by this sound. Oh, wow. It really triggered it. It really activated it right there. Okay, now I go to mid. And go over 2/3 of the area. Oh, this is just going to really... Look at it. It's really weird.
You know, the chameleons do that too. They tend to...
Yeah, you're right.
Lift up the ink more than other pens or markers. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Kathy just donated.
Oh, thank you so much. She must like squeaky markers. Is that true, Kathy? She's like, no, I'm not donating for your squeaky markers. Okay, now the dark. So we did light, and then 2/3 of the way down the medium, and now 1/3 of the way down the dark. Now this is that one that I felt like wasn't the darkest of darks. So I'm hoping we can layer up, and I might purposefully activate the line here, the toner, and use the toner to my advantage to build up a little bit of shadow. Might as well, right? It's the nature of the ink, so let's use it. Since it's going to do it anyway, let's use the toner to help build the shadow. Don't be frustrated by it, use it. Okay. You can, one of the color theories we've learned is that when you add black to something, it's called a shade, right? So we're making this into a shade of yellow.
Fancy.
Yes.
Kathy said, "Yep, any noise made by having fun is cool."
Oh, good. Okay, now we're going back to the middle tone. The mid tone is what they're calling it. So we've done the light, we went to medium, we went to dark, now we're going back to medium. And this is going to blend out any line that you had between the mid-tone and the dark. Now here there's not much of a line because remember when we swatched this, we discovered that there wasn't much of a difference in the shades here. So we're not going to need this step very much. Just a little wee bit of blending love. And now we'll move back to the yellow. This is the one we're really going to need. And we're going to do some flicks here. Oh, it's really activating. Oh, good, I got the light. It's because it's activating that line. Okay, we might as well work with it. Okay. We're not getting much of a tri-blend here, and I think we've got two things working against us. One, we're activating the toner. Two, this tri-blend is not the strongest of the tri-blends. There's not enough contrast between the three colors. And I think I was using the dark. Curses. All right, that was a big fail in our test. So what we're going to do, she says, as she realizes she made a big mistake, is just take the dark and just color the whole thing dark, because I realized that was the dark end I used. Okay, I did that on purpose. Okay. But it wasn't working that great anyway, so that's what we're going to blame it on, is there wasn't, let's just face it, I messed up. Okay, now we're going to color this dot with our Sparkle Pop Purple. Was my hair in the way?
Yeah, I need to get used to flipping it to this side.
But it's hot. Maybe I should have worn it up today. Okay. I can't believe I messed up. Well, yes, I can. So this is not, I've messed up now like twice. How am I going to remember which end is the light? I need to get in the habit. Okay, everybody else who has these pens, do you have the same problem? Do you grab for the wrong end a lot? Did it take you time to get used to grabbing for the right end?
Delia asked, can you use glycerin and gel pens over alcohol ink?
Yes. Glycerin won't affect the alcohol marker at all. So you can do all my tricks with glycerin and your gel pens.
Susan says, no mistakes in coloring.
That's right. I meant to do this. It's actually looking really pretty. It doesn't really matter. It would have been prettier with a blend. I could have grabbed another marker and added some darker, like one of the browns. But I'm just trying to do just one marker. That's kind of the point here. Okay, gotta get my purple bling in here. Oh, I'm like really excited for Sparkle September now. That's like all I'm thinking about. Sparkle September. Okay, then we're gonna do some gold down the body with...
Renee says, yeah, it takes time to get used to them.
Yeah. So I'm still struggling with the bullet nib too, because I'm so used to my brushed nib. But that's pretty. Okay, let's go again, because I messed up on the yellow and I want to see. Okay, randomly picking. Not looking. No. Randomly picking. Yes, that's a good one. We got blue turquoise blend. Okay, let's really do this right. No unintentional coloring. Okay. Well, follow. What should I do, Steve? You tell me. Follow their rules or do Jennifer's rules?
Well, you need to do yours.
Because I messed up.
Yeah, we didn't get to see it.
Okay. Should we do the big beauty? I had so much fun drawing that one.
That is real pretty.
I had so much fun. Okay, let me get the coloring board. Everybody is right. I should be working on this. Is it going to throw off the other camera, though? If it throws off the other camera, we can't use it.
Is it
okay?
Like it'll be okay.
Okay, let's get it lined up. Okay, here we go. So I grabbed blue turquoise blend, which is colors BT3, BT4, BT5. Ooh, sounds like something from Star Wars. Okay, so we're going to follow my rules, and we're going to do the big wing. And we're going to do kind of the same thing. We're going to color the whole wing and then do details in the small areas. So BT3 is our light. Here we go. We ready for fun? Okay. I'm gonna kind of. Is that really the light? Did I get? Okay, good. Now I'm like really nervous about doing the wrong color. Let me get this over here a bit so you can see better.
Barbara asked if prepping the paper with a spray fixative would keep the toner from bleeding.
It might. I think we've tested that a little bit with water.
Yeah,
but
the
not...
problem is depending on how much tooth or grain the fixative gives the paper.
Yeah, will you grab my fixative so I can tell him show him the kind I have? Well, I guess we can just talk about it. I've got my favorite fixative. The spray-on is the Krylon that I have right now. But it's a workable fixative, so that means that it's meant to leave a bit of a texture behind. So we would lose this beautiful smooth texture that we have going on. Why do you want a smooth texture? We have felt tips going on here with our markers, and we don't want to hurt these tips. We don't want to wear them out. We don't want to replace these tips if we don't have to, right? So if you use a spray fixative that is a workable type that leaves behind a texture, that's going to be a problem.
So Deb just donated, and she says to make Sparkle September happen.
Oh, yes! We have to buy some of those Sparkle Spectrum Noir markers. And I almost had the name of the other brand.
So
darn
close.
it. So close. Oh, Kirin. Kirin. Woohoo! Woohoo! That's the name. It might be 2 R's, but I know it's an I at the end. And they've been all over Instagram lettering accounts that I follow, and they are so pretty. And I'm wondering if anyone here has them. And if you do you love them? Do I need to go buy them? They're so expensive. They're in our Amazon cart, and I cannot pull the trigger because they are too expensive. They have metallics, they have regular, and yeah, but I can't pull the trigger. They're too expensive.
Your hair.
My hair is in the way again. Maybe I need to have you get me I'm trying to be a little more careful here so I don't scrub on top of the laser printed lines quite so much, so maybe they won't activate quite so much. We'll see. Okay, first layer down. Second layer is our mid-tone. Jennifer's rule of blending thirds. This is to go about a third out. Now we've got this area here that I'm probably going to color over with something sparkly. So I'm going to declare the third way out here because I want some of the dark tone to show. So we're going to come way out here with the mid-tone. And I'm not even going to color in here because that's just going to get covered with bling. So we can save a little ink. So mid-tone comes around in here like this.
Dawn says, "Me too" on Sparkle September and donated.
Oh, thank you, you guys. Oh my, I might be doing some shopping. We've already got a lot of sparkle stuff. No, we don't have enough. Not enough.
Polly says, "I'm having issues deciding on the Daniel Rubens, or the maybe Paul Rubens or Daniel Smith."
I don't know.
Ooh.
Okay, so we're going to do some flick motions here to create sort of a jagged line. Makes it a little easier to blend if it's not a blunt straight line across here. Okay, there's the mid-tone. Now let's bring up the dark tone. Double check, Jennifer. Dark. Flip it. Here we go. Now, follow again all the way down. And I want the dark to peek out here. And again, build up the contrast. Make that dark be dark. It's called dark for a purpose.
Now, Camilla, I don't know if it like spell corrected her. She says, "I have the full set of Ecoline." Which I wonder if she was writing the one that you mentioned, the
maybe.
Karen.
They might
maybe
be.
it's spell, or what's it called?
Spell check.
Yeah.
Correct spell. Autocorrect.
Yeah, autocorrector. Anyway, she says they're the best, very juicy and intense colors.
Uh-oh. That's what they look like. When they do the lettering with them, I just like drool every time I see an Instagram video where they're doing that. So pretty. Okay, so we got the dark built up now. See how you can even do a second layer and it almost looks like a fourth color? That's the beauty of alcohol markers. All of them do this. Even your Sharpies will do that. Okay, now back to your mid-tone. Okay, now we need to blend out these harsh lines here.
Oh, Camilla was answering a question for Danny. Okay.
Oh, I've heard of the Ecoline. Okay, this is our mid-tone. We're working now to blend lines out, and we can come back and build that dark back up if we need to. Add more contrast. Midline. Okay, then light. This is where I keep making the mistake. And I think it's because it says light here, but on the other one it was like the name of it was light something.
Oh,
and I thought I was pulling for the light side. So I need to remember to look for that word. And before I was looking, it was at this. I don't know what I did, but oh, it was this color. Okay. So what I did, because this color is called light yellow blend. I saw the word light and I reached for this end thinking that was the light end, but in actuality, it's the dark end. So that's why I messed up on that color. Wow. So I need to remember to look for that word and not like that. That's what I need to remember. Okay. So, but we are looking for light, not dark, Jennifer. Light. Okay, here we go. Here we go. A few flicks here. Now, like Steve said, yellow is the color that tends to activate toner the most. We don't know why. But in our testing here at Coloring Bliss, it's always yellow. And you can tell, see how the blue, before I just touched the line with the yellow and it would activate it, but the blue is not having the same problem. Isn't that interesting? Okay, we got the light back in. And now this is when you stop for a second, look at your blend and decide, where do I need more work? Looks like we need more work here because remember, this is a wet art medium and you need to let it dry and move into the fibers a bit, and you'll start seeing where you need to work, especially when you're working with 3 different colors. With 3 different colors, they're all going to dry slightly different. So you got to look for that. And we can see right now that that mid-tone has dried darker. So we're going to add some more of our light tone.
Hope had a good idea. She said, put some washi tape on the light end cap.
Oh, brilliant. Then they all have the same, and I'll always know. That's brilliant. Or maybe some paint, like a big white dot.
Oh, yeah.
But washi tape would be nice because it'd be, wrapped all the way around the one end. And I could use some of my cute washi tape. I just got some new washi tape. Should I show them?
Sure.
You don't seem as excited about washi tape as I get. We went to Hobby Lobby. I had to get... What was I getting? It wasn't washi tape, but I came out with washi tape. Okay, back to dark now. I always end up, very last step, I end up going back to dark. Whether it's with color pencils or with markers, I always end up going back to dark just to add one last time a wee bit more contrast. Just deepen it up just a tiny bit more.
I think Amy and Roberta found those Karen brush markers on Amazon.
Me too. Aren't they expensive?
Jennifer says, thank you, just found them. Boy, are they pricey.
Yep. Especially the full set. Oof. I think I've got the full set in my my wish list cart and the metallic set.
Are they like Prismacolor marker pricey?
So pricey I haven't even shown you.
Oh.
That's how pricey.
Wow. Danny says that turquoise is so pretty.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back to light. Not even going to bother with that medium color because it's drying so dark. So I'm just going to use my light. Okay, now I'm really curious. You see how slow this is. Even marker coloring like this can take time, but it's a huge payoff. Look at that pretty blend. Okay, and flip it over. Again, I wanted to check and see. Look at what it did. It lifted. Why did it do that? I have
like the toner
never
from the other
seen
side.
that. It lifted the toner
Yeah,
from our blotting page.
interesting.
That's so interesting. Okay, but look at the payoff. Okay, so it takes some time, but look at that payoff. That's just really, really pretty. I'm really impressed with that wing. All with one tool. 3 colors in one tool. That's why I think Spectrum Noir is excited about this system. Is because you don't have to think about it. You don't have to go and search for it. If you know I want a wing to be blue turquoise, you just grab one tool and you should be good to go. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, so we need to color this wing something else. What do you think, silver?
Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty.
Yeah. And then I think we have a bluish. Yeah. What about blue for the tiny little dots? And silver. And because I think this silver is a little bit more transparent, but this is still more of a metallic than a glitter. Glitter gel pens tend to be more transparent, translucent than metallic. Metallic gel pens are more opaque. So if you do a base layer under a gel pen and you use a transparent type gel pen, then that base layer color is going to come up through and affect the final color, which is really fun. So we get a silvery color with this blue undertone. So it naturally matches really nice.
Okay, now I gotta go see how much these Karen pens are.
So everybody's still talking about them. They're in our cart, but they might
Someone
be.
was saying you can get good deals on their site directly.
Oh. Okay, I'll just cover this in here. If you use the glycerin trick on top of the base layer of the alcohol marker. The glycerin will actually make the gel pen just a wee bit more transparent. And so you get the glowing of the base layer to come through the inks even more.
So basically those Karens are a competitor to Tombows?
It's a water-based marker, but I think it's a bristle tip.
Oh.
If you zoom in, I'm not sure. The price just stuns me every time I look at it, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do that.
Really?
What? You don't think they're that much money? Should we order them right now?
Well, I mean, Tombows are that much, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but we don't need Tombows.
Like,
Look at that. Oh, so pretty.
I guess, that's a good psychological thing to do, is you talked up how expensive they were, so I was literally expecting like $700.
And instead it was $200 for
Yeah.
Oh, see, it's just not that much money.
Yeah,
Why don't
see,
you
that's
just
a
go
good
ahead
trick.
and order it?
So everybody could learn from that when working with their husbands. These are so expensive. You'll never let me have them.
Yeah, never. Wow. I didn't even know I was manipulating my husband. I guess I was. Is that what we teach here? Manipulating 101?
No, it's because, the, what are these?
Prismacolors.
The Prismacolor Premier alcohol markers. Those are expensive. Like, when we were looking at that set, and it was like $400 or $500 or $600 or something like that. So I was expecting him to do that.
Look at the pretty box.
That's cool.
They come in a really pretty box.
Yeah.
Mother's Day is like
26
I guess
pieces,
Christmas, isn't
26 pieces for $60, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are kind of pricey.
No, they're just
They're
cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, should we try their blending rules now on the other wing and see which one we like? Okay, so let's bring up Spectrum Noir's blending rules and follow them now and see if we get the same results or better. Who am I to say? They say we're going to get color blend like an expert, and it's going to be easy. That's what they say. Okay, here we go again. Let's find the light end right here. Let's start out as a winner, not as a loser here. Okay, here we go. So we colored the whole wing with the light so that the silver will show through. Oh, my hair. I did it again.
I think you're just used to flipping it on that side.
On the left. I wonder why. I'm a left-sided hair person.
Angela says thanks for the tip on softening up our hubbies.
Oh, that's too funny. Didn't even think that way. Man, now I need to use that all the time. I've done the trick where you say, originally priced this was this much money, and I got it for, and then it feels like,
You saved money.
I'm saving you money by buying these. I've tried that trick and it doesn't work. But
what movie was that?
I don't know.
Some oldie goldie, right?
So actually you owe me money because I didn't spend, the $500.
Yeah, anything you
spent.
don't spend.
Yeah, I've tried that trick. It
Now I
didn't
owe
work.
it to you. And vice versa.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we used to do equal money?
Yeah.
When we were young
When we were young bucks,
and poor.
freshly married, and if you're gonna spend $10, I get $10 too. That was so fun. Aw, I love you. Sorry, I had to be all lovey-dovey for a second there. My hair is in the way again, huh? It's alright. Those were the good old days. Now I just have brainwashed you to be my coworker so I get everything I want all the time. That's the key to a perfect marriage. Oh dear. Oh. Okay, we got the base coat down. Now go to apply light color over the whole area. Second step, use dark color to indicate areas of shadow. Okay, dark. Other end. Okay, that's this area. And this area. And we came out farther than my instincts want me to.
Donna said George Burns and Gracie Allen. She's wondering if that was what we were referring to, a movie.
Oh, could be. Okay. There's the dark. Go back and add a little bit more contrast because according to their steps, I don't get to do that. So I'm going to do it now. Okay, there's our dark. Then use the mid color to slightly over color the dark color and blend in. Okay, mid color. Here we go. And then this is the one that we discovered before was drawing a little darker than expected. Okay. I hope their steps seem simplified. So it'd be great if they worked, you know. It'd be a simpler blending method than my steps. Now back to the light, I believe. Reapply the light color, this time slightly overcoloring the mid color for a smooth gradation. Light. Double check. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to go this direction and flick in this way. Then your strokes should help. You get more, because you have more control at this moment than you do at the other moment. Plus, the first time you touch down, that's when the majority of the ink comes out of that nib. And you don't want that big blob happening back here necessarily. Not all the time. But in this instance, I want to control and blend this area out. Be careful right here because we don't want to activate that toner. Nice squeaking action going on here. Sparkle September. Man, we could do sparkle pencils, sparkle markers, sparkle paint, sparkle gel pens, sparkle glues. What other sparkle products am I forgetting? Okay, I'm going back one more time because I feel like there's still a harsh blend out. Harsh line there. So we still haven't done a smell test, Steve.
Oh, that's right.
Need you to test a smell for us compared to Copics and Sharpies and probably our Blicks. Okay, there we got it. That's their steps. So according to their steps, we are done. And I'm going to add the details so that your eyes aren't distracted by the lack of detail. So we'll go in with our Sparkle Pop Silver, which, like I said before, is more metallic than it is glitter, but it's kind of a hybrid.
Roberta said, what you just said is why I hold my markers above my ring finger. Helps me not to touch down as quick.
Ah, so the way you hold your marker is the trick for you. Long time ago, back in the baby years of our channel, I did a video about different ways to hold your tools. Maybe we'll have to revisit that someday, because there's a lot of different ways to hold your tools, and it can really change the outcome. Not to mention it can help with fatigue and wear and tear on your tools. Okay, we got the silver in, and then we bring in, oh wait, silver was out here on these little outer dots too. And then we used blue here, and I think I'm trying to decide what to do on the body. I might do a few blue, extra blue dots too down here just for fun, because you can never have too much. I think I'll save the body because we've got these bottom wings here too to do. Okay, let's compare the two coloring methods. Jennifer's rule of blending thirds compared to the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend smooth blend suggestions, and I would love you to vote. Let's say you can tell me in the comments which one do you think looks better to you. Let me zoom down. I'll just bring it up. Which one do you like the look of better? I'll say the Spectrum blend or the Jennifer blend. Let's just call it that. Following Spectrum's rules or following Jennifer's rules? Which one do you like better? What do you think, Steve? I'm going to move it in the light so you can see the bling. Bling, 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 bling. Okay, now hold it still and you can really give it a gander. I haven't used that word in a long time. Okay, holding it still. Very still.
I like yours a little bit better. But...
What do you think? I'm going to bring it over here, Steve, so you can take a good look.
Oh, yeah, yours.
In person?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, while they're voting, I want you to smell that one. And I'll get a similar colored one, so color isn't.
Ugh.
Now smell Copic.
They smell worse than Copic.
Okay, worse than Copic. Now let's compare to a similar. All I've got is this one. We've got these all put away. Let's compare to Blick, and then I'll grab a Sharpie.
Blick is stronger.
Okay, Blick is stronger. Which one is stronger?
Well, definitely Sharpies are stronger.
Okay, so okay, so is it stronger than Copic?
No.
Oh, so it's a more mild smell than Copic?
No, wait a minute. What? Let me see Copic again. What did I say? No, Copics are more mild.
Okay, how about Prisma? Whoa! Dare you to get that off.
Man. Prismas are kind of nice.
Yeah.
They're not... They're still pretty mild. They're not bad.
So not bad.
Yeah.
So if you have smell issues, then the Spectrum Noirs. What about their old ones? Smell an old one. He's going to smell an old one for me and see if they smell about the same.
No, they're stronger.
So that's the old ink. So the old ink is stinkier than the new ink.
You're worried about me passing out.
Yeah.
Getting high on...
Oh, definitely. There's a different smell to the old ink than there is to the new ink, but it's not like, wow, these have no smell. It's not like that. But yeah, he's right. They're a more mild smell, so that's interesting. Okay, now you know about the smell. Have they voted? Which blend do they like the look of better?
I think overall yours.
It took a lot longer.
A little more smooth.
Yeah, this took a lot longer, like maybe 3 times the time than this one did. So that's interesting to me that we were able to achieve such a pretty blend in a third of the time. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So I like that about, you know, if you're...
said, I don't think you could go wrong either way.
No. No, and if you were in a hurry, this is decent. It looks decent. It's jagged, and as it's drying down, it's looking a little bit more jagged, but it's decent. So, and if you had 3 colors that you were trying to bring together that are farther apart, and will you bring me up the swatches? Because this brings up one of the issues that when we were looking at the swatches, and this is why I was being uber picky about the swatches, okay? If you've got a tri-blend, sometimes they are so harmonious. Like, look at these 3. They look like they were birthed from the same mother, right? They look like they belong together, light, medium, and dark. Easy breezy. But then you look over here and some of them don't look quite the same. Like undertones might be an issue here. Now in that case, Jennifer's rule of blending thirds is going to help, because remember when you do Jennifer's rule of blending thirds, you lay down the whole light, then you go in medium, then you go in dark, then you go back to medium, and then you go way over everything again with light. And that can bring undertones all together because you really are mixing all the inks multiple times together. And that's the same with color pencils. If you've got a light, medium, and dark that sort of work together, but that's all you've got, and you've got to make them come together, then Jennifer's rule of blending thirds is the way to go. But if you've got 3, like we did in this case, the blue turquoise blend, that obviously, look how beautiful that light, medium, and dark, they go together really well. They didn't need that much help. But some of these blends, like this one here, it might need a little bit more help to get it to come together. That's when you might need to step up the layering a little bit more just to bring those inks together a little bit more. So that might be, if you're having trouble getting that dark to feel like it fits in, maybe try layering a little bit more and it might work a little bit better. So yeah. So I think these rules are perfect for when the tritone is harmonious and working really well. But if the tritone is just a little bit off, the tri-blend, then maybe try Jennifer's rules and that might help a little bit more. Okay, so that's my thoughts on these markers. Overall, really impressed. They're a little pricey. You are getting 3 colors in one marker, so I kind of feel like maybe the price is kind of starting to justify. You're getting 3 nibs, 3 different colors. You think about manufacturing a marker like this versus a marker like this where it only gets loaded with ink once, 2 nibs are inserted and away it goes. Where a marker like this has to have 3 different kinds of inks, 3 nibs. I mean, you start thinking through it and the price starts to make a little bit more sense. So it's still pricey though.
Yeah, because you're basically getting 72 colors in there.
Right.
So.
It's still pricey. I'm not going to lie. Alcohol markers, when you get into the art end of alcohol markers, the more like artistic end, not just your cheap end, like Ohuhu end of markers, they get really pricey. It's just what happens. Could you get away with some Ohuhu or Cali art markers? I think you definitely could. Then you just sit down and set them together in sets of 3. You could use little hair bands, like you put little girl hair bands. I do that all the time with markers. Go ahead and make your own tritone sets, and then you could do it on the cheap that way. You know, you can get a nice set of 100 Ohuhu markers for 30 or 40 or $50, probably 50. Because they're about 50 cents to 30 cents a marker. It depends on which brand you go for, but say 50. So $50, you could get 100 of those markers, Cali art or whatever, and then sit down and put them into tritones yourself with a little rubber band, or maybe organize them in your marker case where you have your light, medium, and dark together, and away you go. Or if you don't want to go to all that trouble, that's where this comes in really handy. It's all in one little compact thing. Throw it into your case. If you use like our color scheme selector where you have the wheel and you turn it and you say, oh, I like that set. Now I'll just come here and find the 3 colors. Let's say you want to do, you know, this one is a triadic?
Split complementary.
Split complementary was this one. So you got your green and your orange and your blue, and you've got your light, medium, and dark in each of those, and away you go. Oh, I think he's trying to find the wheel.
Yeah,
right there.
Sure. But anyway, yeah.
Here, hand it to me. I want to make sure too. You want to just hand me the whole book? Oh, I wanted the other thing. This is easier to show. Right here. So you look here. Here's the split complementary. So if you have your wheel, and it's shining in the light, I apologize. You have your wheel, and you put this on orange, and we have orange, yellow, and blue. Is that what we had?
No.
Orange, green, and red. Did we do triadic? Orange, green, and blue. Oh, it's green.
Orange, blue, and green. So try split complementary again. Yeah, I think we were kind of thinking it's the only colors that were available, and that was closest.
Oh yeah,
because it's a red
right
orange.
there. It's a reddish orange. So that's how this tool could work really cool. So let's say I really wanted to work with purple. So if we turn this to a violet, then I would come into my markers, and I know I need a violet, a yellow green, and a yellow orange. So then you come here and you say, okay, who's violet? We'll go for the lavender blend. That's this one. And then I need a yellow green. Let's go for the citrus blend. And I need a yellow orange. I'll go for the closest thing to yellow orange. That's one where this one is failing, is the yellows. So I'm just going to go for the orange blend. So right there, that's this one right here. And I have a light, medium, and dark for each. And I'm done thinking about my colors. That was really fast.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's the power of what they've set up here. So again, my only concerns about this system. It's just a bullet nib. You saw how I was working when I needed to color a large area like that wing, and that's not that big of an area. It took a lot of time to lay down that ink across that wing because I'm working with a tiny little bullet. So that's one concern, is the bullet nib. And the second concern is the amount of ink that is in here. That worries me. Of course, with Spectrum Noir, I'm assuming there's going to be replacement inks, so a bottle of ink that you could buy and re-ink these. I'm assuming that's what their plan is. If that's the case, then if you fall in love with this system, invest in the system, and then you can buy your re-inkers. When you do that kind of thing, then usually it brings down the per marker cost because you're re-inking over and over and over, and then it becomes the cost per marker drops every time you re-ink, but then you have to invest in the inks, and so now your investment grows, and yeah, so you have to take that into account. So that's how you think about these types of alcohol markers. So I think it's really cool. I'm really grateful to Spectrum Noir for sending these to me. As always, I want you guys to know there's a disclaimer in my video. I always share that when I get sent products, I always tell the company that I'm going to be 100% honest with my reviews, that I always am that way. Whether they send me a product or not, I'm going to share with you my my total honest opinion about things. So I hope you are confident that I would do that with you. I'm excited that I get to share this with someone. So hopefully you'll go and enter for the giveaway. That giveaway enters Tuesday at midnight Mountain Time. So make sure you get in there and for your chance to win these 3 pretty markers. So that's pretty cool that you get a chance to win those. And I will keep practicing with these and we'll see how long the ink lasts inside these little markers. If you want to see how big the cartridge is, one of them accidentally opened up during swatching. So go back and watch the Facebook video and you can see how small. It's about 1 inch long is all they have inside there for the ink. So you can go see that over on Facebook when that accidentally opened up. And if you like this coloring page and you would like to download it, just come on over to my Coloring Bliss website and become a colorist, an apprentice, or a partner, and you will be able to download this and over 400 different coloring pages, including that color that tool that I just showed you to help pick colors. That's part of that. You get to download that when you become one of those members. Or you can also order a coloring book and have this printed on the beautiful marker paper and enjoy it yourself with your brand new markers. So those are all your options to get coloring pages like this. Are there any last minute questions? We have gone over my time that I usually do. Thank you again to everyone who has donated to our channel. Your financial investment in Coloring Bliss is much appreciated. And don't forget to hit a like if you enjoyed this video, share it out, subscribe, hit the bell, all those good things that you do here on YouTube always helps us out. Join us again next Wednesday. We're going to be doing some more alcohol marker fun for the rest of August. I'm already thinking about September. I'm kind of excited about this sparkle idea. So yeah, and we'll announce next Wednesday the winner of the 3 Tri-Blend Spectrum Noir markers that we're going to give away. So that's the plan. So thanks again for watching. Thanks, Steve, for all your help, and we will see you guys next week. Have a wonderful, colorful, blissful night. Bye-bye, everyone.